Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I am playing Legacy, and this is at the request of Patreon subscriber Akia, and today I have Ruby Storm. So this is a deck that I've played on the channel before, but it's been quite some time, probably 5-6 months since I did a run. I did like 3 of these in the course of a month, and then haven't touched it in a while. And it must be back in fashion because Akia asked me to play it, and then I have another one coming in about a week from Tony Scapone with his build as well. So Ruby Storm, stick around if you like this sort of thing. If you're unfamiliar with this sort of thing, what we're doing here is Ruby Medallion. Red spells you cast cost 1 less. And this deck is already full of rituals, cards that net you mana when you cast them, like Desperate Ritual, Seething Song, and Rite of Flame. And Jeska's Will sometimes. And if they cost less to cast, and they're already netting mana, you get even more mana. And the goal here is to get into bonus rounds. Not every version of the deck plays bonus round anymore, but Akia specifically asked for this one, and I am happy to do that because this is exciting stuff. Bonus round is a sorcery. Until end of turn, whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery, that player copies it and chooses new targets for the copy. So this gives you even more mana with your rituals, it lets you draw extra cards with your Manamorphose, etc. And the really cool thing is when you cast a bonus round, when you have bonus round already happening, this is a sorcery, it gets copied. So the bonus round gets copied. Now all of your spells you get 4 copies of, the original copy plus 3 copies. And with Burning Wish for a bonus round from the sideboard, and Past in Flames to cast bonus rounds again from the graveyard, you can get some exponential growth of copies. And we have ended up with some crazy stacks in the past before where it's just like, I'm genuinely worried I'm going to time out before my 60 dark Desperate Rituals resolve. Like the game can get into that sort of spot, and I'm pretty excited to try it. Once we're generating all this mana and doing all this stuff, you keep the action coming with cards like Jeska's Will. Exile the top 3 cards of your library, you may play them this turn. And Ignite the Future. This one, there's a lot of cards that do this sort of thing, but Ignite the Future, what I really like about it, is it's exile the top 3 cards of your library, and until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. So Ignite the Future lets you bank things. Like you could just pay 4 mana, Ignite the Future, untap, and next turn do stuff. Galvanic Relay is... Oh, Galvanic Relay should be in this deck. I was just about to say, this is like a Galvanic Relay, but we could just literally be playing Galvanic Relay. Okay, pause. I'm going to rebuild this deck for a minute, and then we're going to have Galvanic Relay in it. Okay, so I have cut the Anarchy from the sideboard for a Galvanic Relay in the Burning Wish package. So Galvanic Relay is a new card. Let me put it on the screen for you. Is a new card from Modern Horizons 2. Exile the top card of your library. During your next turn, you may play that card. So you don't get it right now, but you do get it next turn, and it has Storm. So the Epic Storm has adopted this card as sort of a combination draw engine that's difficult to counter, and an oh shit button, like, oh, I realized I'm not going to get there, or they disrupted somewhere along the chain. Burning Wish for Galvanic Relay. Exile like 7 to 10 cards, and then next turn you should be able to figure out how to go off from there. So I have Galvanic Relay in the sideboard as a Burning Wish target. Galvanic Relay could be a little dangerous because passing the turn, you can't control how much Storm you have. Like, I mean, you could stop casting spells, but if you realize like 25 spells in that you need to stop for some reason, Galvanic Relay could end up decking you. But I do like that option as a draw option because Peer into the Abyss, which is the other one, if you're in the bonus rounds, this card can get weird. So target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life, round up each time. So if you're in a few bonus rounds here and you're at 20 life, you cast this, you draw half your deck, go to 10. You draw half your deck, go to 5. You draw half your deck, go to 2. Draw half your deck, go to 1. Draw half your deck, you die. So like if you just happen to be in 5 bonus rounds, you lose if you cast this. So having a draw engine that you can wish for that doesn't care about life total is pretty good. But I think there is a chance that Galvanic Relay ends up being overkill, but I do want to try it because it's a new card and it seems like a great fit for this deck. Anyway, back to Ignite the Future. Being able to just tap out on like turn 3 with a Ruby Medallion or an Ancient Tomb or whatever, being able to tap out turn 3 and just bank 3 cards for next turn is really hard. This is like the old Fact or Fiction conundrum. Like, do you counter the Fact or Fiction or counter the pile they get with it? And you're in trouble either way. So big fan of Ignite the Future in this deck. And the way that you actually win the game, you can Fiery Confluence with zillions of copies and just deal 6 damage to your opponent however many times you're in the bonus round. You can also Burning Wish for Tendrils of Agony, which we have Lion's Eye Diamond and Lotus Petal to cast, which may seem strange if you're not familiar with this list, but I promise it makes perfect sense, and we're going to have black mana pretty much as often as we want it. And there's also Grape Shot to finish them off playing Mono Red, and Empty the Warrens if we have like a mid-sized storm turn but have to pass the turn at least once. This is a good one. So that's the deck. It is a Burning Wish Storm deck, and it's mono red other than a couple of sideboard options, and Echo of Eons with Lion's Eye Diamond to refill. So we got some stuff going on here, and I have some proficiency with this deck. I'm not going to claim to be an expert. Please go to the comments with lines that would have been better or etc. Always happy to hear the feedback. But this is what I have for today. Let's go put some red rituals on this deck. On the play in round number 1, and I've got one of these hands that will win the game on turn 3 if they don't have Wasteland, and I will lose the game on the spot if they do. I think I have to mulligan this, or I could just have some faith in my deck to produce mana, but oh, this is such a crapshoot. Like, if there's some fair blue deck, this hand is great, but I'm gonna ship it. This one's actually fine. I feel like I would rather keep a slow hand and be safe if they are a Wasteland deck than keep a fast hand and lose if they're a Wasteland deck. I just feel like the fail state of keeping both of those hands, the one where we just literally do nothing and die because we can't put any spells on the stack, is worse overall. Alright, so we're playing against Cloudpost. We can have a turn 3 Ignite the Future and hopefully set up a turn 4 win, but let's see where we go in the meantime. If they can play another Cloudpost here, that would be kind of unfortunate. I think if their ramp does catch up, okay. Bathing Needle, okay. Do I have any activated abilities in my deck? Maybe they know something I don't. Maybe they'll just name like Chandra Torch of Defiance in case I'm Red Stompy, or they just name Wasteland. I don't know. Bathing Needle's in their main deck for Wasteland specifically, but that's not a card that's actually in my deck, and I think they know that. Okay, they just named Wasteland to be safe. Fair enough. Okay, time to Ignite the Future and set up next turn's win. So bonus round Bergie, Echo of Aeons are in exile. Echo's actually a really unfortunate one to hit because I want to cast that from my graveyard for 3 mana, not from exile for 6, and like you can't discard it from exile. Unfortunate. Alright, let's hope they don't have a lock piece right now. I can, let's see, I have 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 mana, so I could bonus round Burning Wish, get Rite of Flame and something else next turn to kick off next turn, or I could Bergie, Lotus Petal, Burning Wish. There's a couple of things I could do. I just have to figure out which ones make any sense. Alright, finding Seething Song was an excellent tiebreaker. So I think I'm going to need this mountain to get off the ground. So is bonus round or Bergie going to create more mana over the course of this turn? Or at least to get me off the ground? So bonus round, Burning Wish, get Rite of Flame, and what? So having 2 wishes is nice. I could have 4 wishes, but if I Burgy up into bonus round, then I can copy. So if I start with Burgy, Lotus Petal makes a red. Burning Wish effectively costs 1, which can get Rite of Flame, which can cast bonus round. Yeah, I think we can get into the bonus round if we lead on Burgy first and just do both. Alright, there she is. Gotta kind of hope that opponent can't kill Burgy. They just have like Dismember right now or something. This could mess me up. Crop rotation. Oh, they're gonna get Caracas. That's really good. Gonna have to power through this. Don't have any instants I can put on the stack right now while I still have Burgy in play. Okay. Well played. So I have 4 mana right now. I think I have to start with a Seething Song. So if I Seething Song, 4, 3, 4, bonus round, yeah, that I'm gonna need the help to get ahead on mana here. So I can go Burgy, or am I in bonus round now? Burgy, Burning Wish for Rite of Flame does what? It leaves me with 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I end up with 4 mana there. And then I can... Oh, the bonus round also makes mana. Okay, so I'm gonna refire Burgy. There she is. Then Burning Wish for Rite of Flame. Yes. This is why it's really important to have a Rite of Flame in the sideboard. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Get 1 from Burgy, 2 from Rite. And then bonus round leaves 1 in the pool. Oh, this is actually not even close to enough. So I think the bonus round might be off the table at this point. Storm is 7. I have 1 black mana. If I wish for... I don't have enough to Past in Flames. I might just have to empty the Warrens and hope it's good enough. This might be a Galvanic Relay turn, actually. Like, just the way this has played out. I could end up just losing on their turn. Wait, is Burgy... Alright, it's whenever you cast a spell, so I don't get the cast or copy. This was not Magecraft. Or, is Magecraft what I'm thinking? Yeah. So, if I Burning Wish, I'll have 1 floating, Burgy will make 1, and then I have the Galvanic Relay to try again next turn. Yeah, I think I gotta pass the turn here. Never want to do that, but it is nice that I have the relay. Galvanic Relay. And let's go. Just exile 9 cards for next turn. See what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that is my turn. Alright, let's see what they got. I mean, they can at least Caracas to bounce Burgy again. I did not consider crop rotation for Caracas. There might have been a deterministic line if I committed to bonus round as my extra instead of Burgy. And I don't have a hand to Thought-Knot Seer. If they play prison pieces, which some post decks do, some don't. Like, some have Trinispheres and Chalices and stuff, and some just have Eldrazi and ramp spells. Let's just hope we're against a ramp version. Though the Caracas does turn on Thought-Knot Seer, they can just bounce Burgy and then Stealer. The Cloud Post, other than those lock pieces, doesn't actually interact with combo very well, so there is a chance we can just go to town here. Okay, so here are the cards I can play this turn. Definitely want this Ancient Tomb around. Gonna want that fast mana. And then Ruby Medallion. I think... Alright, so how do I actually get ahead here? Burgy comes into play. I can cast Ruby Medallion, I get 1 red. And then I can cast Lines of Demon, I get a 2nd red. Then I can start Seething Song. Okay. Bergie first and Medallion first actually make the same amount of mana. Hold on. Is there a reason to sequence Medallion before Bergie? And I think the answer is yes. Okay, so if I go Medallion first, so casting Medallion first reduces the cost of Bergie, and casting Bergie first gives you a mana when you cast Medallion. But if by doing it this way, I can Manamorphose in response to some sort of removal spell. Like I get the LED, and I get mana off of Bergie. And if they were to like kill her right now somehow, I can Manamorphose in response and go bonkers. So, time to Manamorphose. Maybe I should be cracking this LED now before anything else happens. Like, do I just want to put a bunch of black mana in my pool? My blue card is already gone, and I have infinite red. So, yeah, I'm just going to float this for black right now. And then I can start shredding through the deck. And I think I can just safely make red with all of my other cards. Right now we Seething Song a couple times. These songs are so seething. And I can Ignite the Future and still have this Rite of Flame. There's another one in the graveyard. I want to Ignite the Future first because if I find a bonus round, I want to cast these subsequent rituals under it. Fence Grid, Desperate Ritual, Ignite the Future. That's the same Ignite the Future. We knew about that one already. So I can Ignite the Future again, or I could flash back and Ignite the Future from the graveyard, but I have a ton of mana to do that anyway, so just cast this other one. It will be tough to run out of gas. Alright, the Burning Wish is lethal now, so that's the game there. At least it should be, in a game 1 against Cloudpost. Just spew all my rituals, including this one. Then I'm just going to Burning Wish for Tendrils and get them. And if this somehow doesn't work, I have enough mana to refire. I can still Jeska's Will, and I can refire Ignite the Future from my graveyard. Use this ability, get Tendrils, and send the drills in their direction. Boom. Galvanic Relay, folks. Glad I added that one to the deck. I may have only needed it because I messed up my combo turn, but I'm still glad I had it. Sideboard against Cloudpost. Things they might have include Trinisphere, Chalice of the Void. It's going to be permanent based disruption, so I want the Ratchet Bombs in more than I want the defense grids. I guess there's a chance they have something like Mindbreak Trap. Right, I just googled the stock 12 post list right now, and they do all have 4 Mindbreak Trap in them, so I do want to maintain some number of defense grid. And they do not seem to have any other sort of disruption. Like, they have Tabernacle if I go for goblins, and that's about it. They have Force of Vigors to mess up my other stuff, so I'm actually gonna stay on the defense grids. I just don't think I'm gonna sideboard. I might bring in the 3rd grid. This Mindbreak Trap is really the only thing I need to worry about. And they do have a lot of mana, so they could pay for a defense grid with their deck. But they're probably not going to be able to pay for 2. Just got to figure out how to get through the 2. Is Bergie a risk against Caracas, or is she just a make them have it sort of thing? Hard to say. Is she better or worse than defense grid? Probably worse. So I'm going to go up to 3 defense grid, and this is my plan. Wow. What do you do with this? I think I'm going to keep this because it's so bonkers. Yeah, let's go. It needs a red source, but it is ready to party. Alright, so they found a Cloudpost off there once upon a time, and then played Elvish Reclaimer instead. So here's my first Ruby Medallion. This hand does run pretty hard into the Force of Vigor that I mentioned seconds ago. Glimmer Post, so they're trying to activate Reclaimer. If I find a red source right now, we can potentially go crazy. Not a red source, but it is a defense grid. Yeah, I'm gonna run that out first and just check that box. Like, that turns off Force of Vigor pretty effectively. Let's see if they have Wastelands to just shut me down here. If they don't. They have 3, 4. They have 4 mana this turn if they want it. Currently 3 mana in play, but they have this Cloud Post in their hand too. So they could Thought Not Seer me. I'd honestly be pretty surprised if this deck had Wasteland in it of its own. Alright, so they're leaving up either pay for Defense Grid or copy with Thespian Stage or activate Elvish Reclaimer. These are all things they can do. I expect they'll copy Cloud Post, and they can also rotate still. Or no, they're one short of doing both. Okay, but they have a lot of mana. So 4, 8, 9. They have 9 mana this turn. I need my red source to get to work here. This is it. This is the last chance. They have so much mana. They can cast Emrakul next turn. They get an Expedition map with this. These 5, 10, 15. Yeah, they can just Eldrazi me next turn. Alright, deck time for a red source. Help me out here. Help me out. That's a red source. Okay. Lotus Petal on the stack. And red mana. That's Seething Song. And Manamorphose. I think I want to just make red red, or do I float a blue black here? I guess I float a blue and a black just in case. I can just spend it if it's not the right thing. So Ignite the Future is one of the few cards in the deck that benefits from a third ruby being in play, but I think I want to not do that. So Ignite, pay 1. Alright, it does cost 2 though. Guess I didn't need to waste my black mana. If they have Mindbreak Trap, ooh, a second defense grid. That's pretty good against Mindbreak Trap. So these each cost tap for 4. So the second defense grid doesn't actually even stop anything from happening. So Rite of Flame, Jeska's Will. I think I want to exile top 3 because this costing 1 is a nice little engine. I still have a land drop, but I don't think I want it to be Ancient Tomb. So exile the top 3 cards again. Right, 2 Burning Wishes, and if I play all my defense grids, I actually can turn off a Mindbreak Trap. But do I need to, is the question. What can I Burning Wish for here? I can get Rite of Flame and bonus round. Alright, so Burning Wish costs 1. I could play this mountain. And how do I get up to... Can I get up to this Ignite the Future from the graveyard? That costs 6. So I could land drop. Alright, I think I am going to need the red source here. So I'm going to play the mountain for the turn. And then if I Burning Wish for Rite of Flame, that gets me how much? Enough to go into bonus round. But can I then also Jeska's Will? Alright, I'm not going to be able to protect from Mindbreak Trap if I take these lines. Oh, here we go. Use the ability. Pretty sure I want the right. Rate makes 3. So my plan right now is to get up to Ignite the Future from my graveyard. And I'm a red mana short of doing that. I can just cast it though with the Ancient Tomb. So I should probably Jeska's Will for mana first. Or no, I should do it for card draw. Yeah, that's gonna pay me out better, I think, over time. Lion's Eye Diamond is a good one to find. Then does LED let me cast the 2 defense grids? And then get Ignite the Future also. So if I sack this for red, I have 3, 6, go down to 2, Manamorphose, nets 1, so I have 3 mana, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I actually can cast both of these defense grids. Alright, so make red, red, red. I have a tendrils line here, but I think I'd rather just lock this out. Like, I want to play around Mindbreak Trap. That's the card they would have kept. There is a window where they could activate Reclaimer for Bojuka Bog, which is kind of a beating. Right, defense grid. Defense grid. Gotta overpower these Cloud Posts somehow. The Burning Wish plus Manamorphose in hand, I believe, are lethal, or in exile are lethal. Like, I could wish for Tendrils and Morphos into black mana, and I don't even need the Ignite the Future from the graveyard. So Bojuka Bog doesn't actually beat me here. We just have to overpower the Mindbreak Trap. Right, so these are in, and Manamorphose. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the clean Tendrils here. Black, black. Burning Wish. Sorry, Ignite the Future. I love you, but just didn't need you, buddy. Alright, they scooped it up. I bet they had a Mindbreak Trap in their hand, and we just did what we had to do to not lose to it. GG's. On the draw in the second round. And I don't have a Ruby or a Burgi, but this hand is really good. I have a turn 3 Ignite the Future, which is something I'm extremely interested in. Specifically, this build of the deck is able to do that, so I want to be able to use it. Opponent's mulling to 4, so one of us is dead. I guess my hand's slow enough that I can't really punish a mull to 4, but if they're just like Reanimator or some shit, we could just lose on the spot. Every time my opponent mulls to 4, I assume they're a degenerate combo deck, not that they're unlucky, but there's always a chance they're just unlucky. They're 4 cards in hand, and they're on the play. What are we dealing with? I would love to just see like basic island go. Or nothing go. Interested in that too. Ruby Storm, or Ruby Medallion's my best draw. If I could turn 2 the Ignite the Future, that's way better, obviously, than turn 1. Alright. Pass the turn here. I can actually Echo of Eons next turn, but I don't know if I want to do that against the mull to 4. Like, I don't know what they're playing. Right, they flooded Strand. So they found a land, which was not what they kept in their hand originally. Fascinating. So I could Ritual into Ignite the Future now and try to speed this up a little bit. I think that makes sense. Right, Desperate Ritual playing around Days, and then Ignite the Future not playing around Days. Let's just Ignite this Future. Try to get on the board a bit. And I don't know what would have to come off this Ignite, but if it's something completely insane that wins the game now, I could just LED and cast the stuff, but no, this is a turn passer. I found a Medallion though, hit a land drop off of that. There's a lot of good stuff going on over there. Uh-oh, Moment of Truth. Is this like Ponder, or is this like Dark Ritual? What do you have? A Snow-Covered Island and Ponder. Alright, I'll take a Ponder in this situation over fearing the worst. So what deck with Flooded Strand, Snow-Covered Island, and Ponder would mull to 4 and keep a no-lander? Unless they just, like, YOLO kept a hand with, like, Force of Will Ponder and figured it's not gonna... At least I won't die on turn 1. So I'm gonna play like they have Force of Will. I think that is just good practice in this position. I didn't play around Spell Pierce there, and maybe I should have. Just trying to eliminate outs one at a time. But I'm going to cast all the cards that I have to cast this turn. Try to load up the hand. There's no cards in the sideboard that like make things resolve. Other like that I can wish for. Like there's not like a whatever insist. Is that it? Overmaster. Overmaster. That's what I'm thinking of. There's no Overmaster, but I don't think this hand really needs an Overmaster. I think this hand... So I could get Galvanic Relay and have like a 2-turn setup. I could get bonus round and try to just win next turn. I could also just get Right and try to set up this Into the Future, or Ignite the Future, Burning Wish situation. Though my hand... Mana is not the gap my hand has. I could Right and try to do stuff right now. LOL, right now. I actually don't hate that. I'm going to try a Rite of Flame. See where this goes. This plays into Daze when I wouldn't have to if I pass the turn, but I think my hand is so juicy that I can afford to get dazed. Seething Song. How far are they going to let me go with this? Seething Song again. And if they Force of Will, basically any of these, I'm going to Ignite from hand. I'll save the one in my graveyard. The LED can still cast it. I have to beat one Force of Will here, and I'm pretty sure I can outmuscle one Force of Will. Alright, that's another Ignite the Future. I like that. So Burning Wish right now gets... I can wish for goblins. Alright, Ignite the Future. Let's try to find some more mana. And because these are Ignites, I can just pass the turn if I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Alright, Manamorphose, 2 more Burning Wish. Well, all 4 Burning Wish are now accounted for. Alright, Manamorphose. I'm gonna get red. So I have the Lion's Eye Diamond if I need a different color. Seething Song was an excellent find there. Seething Song. Now Storm is Infinity Billion. So I can just get Tendrils and beat a Force of Will. So Burning Wish, hold priority, sack for black. And I have 3 Burning Wishes here, so I'm not super worried about this one getting countered. Feeling pretty good about this, unless they have something crazy like main deck Mindbreak Trap. There's the Force pitching Preordain. We had the read on that one. Burning Wish again. Unrelenting. Yeah, they just wanted to build my Storm. You're welcome to build my Storm anytime you like, opponent. Yeah, just packed it up to that one. Okay, we beat the blue deck that mulled to 4 and missed their first land drop. Easy money. Defense Grid's coming in. I probably want Ratchet Bomb, as Deafening Silence is a pretty big problem. Actually, I'm not super worried about... Like, Mindbreak Trap is a card that I have to be pretty worried about, but you can outmuscle a Force of Will. You just can't beat permanent-based disruption for the most part. So, I think Bergie gets the cut again. Sorry, Bergie. And I think I don't want Echo of Eons against the blue deck. Because, like, I can wish for it in a situation where I actually want this card, but unless I have Defense Grid already in play, I don't really want to wheel the blue deck. I want to wear out their hand and deduce what's in it over the course of the game and pivot around what answers they have, and I don't want to give them draw 7s when I have all this card advantage that they don't. So that makes sense to me. Also, good chance Narset's just in this deck. I don't know. Hull Breacher is a card to consider. It would be pretty embarrassing to get your own wheel Hull Breachered. This hand, what do we got? No colored mana. I am on the draw. I have the Ratchet Bomb, which I think I'm going to keep this hand on the strength of having Ratchet Bomb, because if they're just like Deafening Silence, the game ends. And this match is going to be slow anyway. Oh, they're Delver. Weird. Oh, they're some sort of blue-white Delver. Now I have regrets about keeping this hand with Ancient Tomb for mana. But it's okay. I'm still going to put Ratchet Bomb into play. If they have the classic Delver Days Wasteland start, we're out of here. But maybe they just won't. Okay, they had the Days. They had 2 of the 3. Wasteland is actually the most important one. When this dust settles, Wasteland is the card that I'm going to hope they really don't have. Alright, Delver didn't flip. Ugh. Delver Days Wasteland on the play. Here we go. At least Delver didn't flip. I'll take that as a win. Alright, I do have a mountain. That's a fortunate place to start. Need another one though, pretty quickly. Alright, Delver didn't flip again. So they have at least one non-spell card in their hand. Another Delver, okay. Alright, deck, help me out here. That wasn't it. Though it is the ritual that I have now. Here we go. Delver still didn't flip, so that's another non-spell in their hand. Though the Delver might have been the draw last turn, so And Polluted Delta, so we don't actually have any information about their hand right now. The information about my hand is that it needs a land, though. Ugh. I'm gonna run out the LED rather than go to discard. I can still, with a land, get something going here. Like, this is just so much resting potential ready to pop off. Delver flips, revealing Daze. That's gonna be really hard to beat with my one lander. Okay, I had no idea they were a Delver deck after game one. Like, most Delver decks don't have Tundra in them. That's a very weird thing to happen, and I would not have kept this hand against a Wasteland deck if I knew that's what was going on. So, getting appropriately punished here. I do have a line, though. Is there a line? Maybe I'm lying. Oh, Esper Delver? Wow. And they're going to exile my LED? Wow. Alright, yeah, we're super dead here. I no longer have a line through this Daze. Okay. Alright. That was something. Alright. They're a Wasteland deck team. Watch out for that. So, do I still want... I don't think I want Ratchet Bomb over Defense Grid now that I know they're Delver. Maybe I want a little bit of both. What else did I cut? Echo? Yeah, I still don't... If I have all three grids, Echo gets a lot better, because then I can draw 7, and it's likely they won't be able to deploy those cards immediately. Though, refilling a Delver opponent's hand also sounds like a losing proposition. So I think I'll leave in a Ratchet Bomb, but just go up 1 Defense Grid. Alright, this hand, turn 1 Defense Grid and some gas. I'm going to keep it. And this one is actually pretty well padded against a Wasteland. So if they have Force of Will for Defense Grid, that's a force out of their hand. If they have Wasteland, that's a turn they spent not pressuring me, and I do have Needle and stuff. Alright, so they had a force. I would prefer it pointed at the Defense Grid rather than one of my other spells. Though obviously I'd prefer for Defense Grid to just resolve. They do have the Wasteland. No problem this time. A second Wasteland might start to get uncomfortable. Sandstone Needle is in. Do they have 2 Wastelands? They do not have 2 Wastelands. Do they have Deafening Silence? The blue mana is not Deafening Silence. Alright, I'll take a Ponder. Ponder away. They pitched Brainstorm with their Force of Negation, which is a pretty big loss. So, they must... I suspect that they didn't have many other blue cards, if any, at the time that they cast that spell. Alright, Medallion. This is a good one to sneak in here. It's another good force tester, and because of Sandstone Needle, I was able to play around Daze. And next turn I can... Jessica's Will, see where we go, I guess. So they've passed the turn with Polluted Delta. Polluted Delta, go. So I think I want to lead on Jessica's Will and exile my top 3 cards. I'm leaving the Needle back for now because I don't want to lose it if I don't have to. Like, if they just Force a Will this, I'll Ritual Piff next turn. And I can play around Soft Permission by Desperate Ritual Seething Song in response to some of this stuff. Alright, so here's Lotus Petal. And I think I need to Desperate Ritual first. So use this Desperate Ritual. I don't want to get dazed here, is my big problem. So bonus round. This is a good one to counter if they've been waiting for a counter spell. My whole plan is Past in Flames, so if they have like Surgical Extraction or whatever, like that, this Jessica's Will does need to resolve for me to do anything this turn. Bonus round copies for all players. So if they save their counterspell for like the Past in Flames, I might get 2 copies of Past in Flames, but they get 2 copies of Force of Will also. So bonus round doesn't actually help you play through counterspells very well. Alright. Force of Negation, pitching Brainstorm. So is it better to will now or to wait a turn? So I have 3, 6, 3. Okay, I think I want a Jessica's Will now. And like right now, while I sense that the getting's kind of good, Past in Flames. That would have been a good target for Force of Negation. But again, if they have another counterspell, like if they've just been sitting on a Flusterstorm, this card's in the graveyard, though I can flash it back and writ back up the chain for another will. So Force of Will doesn't get me here, Flusterstorm doesn't get me here. They need to save the Flusterstorm for the Jessica's Will, is the real story. Okay, so that is not the ideal way to play that, unless they have another counterspell. Right, so Past in Flames is on the stack again. Desperate Writ. Now they can daze me. Alright, they didn't daze me there, so that means they don't have it. Desperate Writ, Seething Song, Jessica's Will, let's go. These 3 cards better be good. Alright, I mean, the party continues. So Ruby Medallion does pay for itself already, just with what I have heads up, so I'm going to play it. Seething Song, Jessica's Will, let's go another round. Ignite the Future, you don't say. Let's ignite that future. Ignite the Future, found... Oh god. It's Manamorphose or Blessed here. Oh wait, no, I can ignite the future from the graveyard. Alright, Manamorphose is still good though. So I pay this, and I think I want to make black, in case I find a Burning Wish. Then Rite of Flame, Lotus Petal, Manamorphose for black. Or no, I have enough black now. I can make red. Yeah, I'm only going to need 2 black, if any. Defense Grid, thanks for coming. So Ignite costs 6 out of the graveyard right now. I have 8. I can play Defense Grid, though I think we're through the grid part of the game at this point. They cast so many spells. Yeah, so I'm just going to Ignite the Future here. Leaving black-red floating. I have a Lotus Petal for the second black if I need it. Bergie is what we ended up with here. Bummer. These cards are free because of Ignite the Future. And I can actually... Maybe this should have been the Horn. I don't know. Yeah, I think actually I should have cast Horn with that. And then I can play Defense Grid and just start attacking for 3. Alright. We've got a plan. And this is Ignite the Future, so I can save this Rite of Flame until next turn. Oh god, their last card was Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Alright, well, we are both Hellbent, except I'm way ahead on board, but they need way less than I do to get anything going. This is about to be an exciting game. And I have a land drop and Rite of Flame lined up for next turn through the Ignite the Future. So they cast 3 forces on their second turn, and it still required me to hit my whiff. Alright, so I'm gonna play Sandstone Needle as my land drop. Actually, I can play around. Does Needle even matter? Like, I could just play around Wasteland with a mountain. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Needle. I'm gonna play the Rite of Flame too, just to keep it in my graveyard so it's not exiled forever. It actually does have graveyard text. And leave the Lion's Eye Diamond in hand to build Storm later. Oh, baby. A Kingdom for a Burning Wish. And they do have to play out their lands. They can't even bluff counterspells because of Defense Grid. That's kind of fun. Alright, Burning Wish. All 4 of them are still on the deck. I'll save that for Storm. Hope they're not a Hymn to Tarok deck, somehow. They still can't force a will, because they have Defense Grid. They can't force a negation either. Alright, we've both drawn... Delver versus Ruby Storm, both players have 5 lands in play. That's not something that's supposed to happen in this matchup on either side of the table. Ethereal Forager, that's pretty good. Exile to Brainstorm in days. I mean, yeah, it's time for nothing, apparently. Yeah, if they find a land, they can pick up their Force of Negation and represent Hardcast. Falling behind quickly here. So hopefully they just put the Ponder in their hand. They picked up their Force of Will. So good chance they have a blue card. I think it's a safe bet. Oh no, do you have Kaya? Fracture, removing. Okay. That could be worse. Still looking for a spell. Not that one. Oh, deck. Betrayed me so. We punched through the triple Force of Will start, and now we're going to have to punch through 3 more of them. Yeah, what do I even do? I'm not even sure what my plan even is here. And now they can hardcast their forces too, so I'm taking at least 9 more from this Ethereal Forager. Need to find a way to cast multiple spells in a turn. Like, multiple spells that matter in a turn. Okay, well, there's one. That will at least get one of these counter spells out of their hand, unless they decide to let this resolve. I actually hope they do counter this, because they have enough lands they can pay for force through the defense grid anyway. So I do hope they use one of them on this. Alright, they did the math. I hate when they do the math. And I don't have like a red elemental blast or anything that can remove this whale from play. Oh god, this is engineered explosives. Oh, it's prismatic ending. Alright. That's better than engineered explosives, because that would have taken out my rubies too. But it's not going to matter. They throw 3 forces back in their hand now. They should put Ponder back in their hand this turn. Alright. They have all 3 forces. So I have to draw banger, banger, banger. Alright, well, that's a pretty good banger, though Force of Negation does hit it really good. I guess I should wait and see if I can string together. Like, if I can trick them into hard casting Force of Will and then like alt casting, like I need to work through the cards in their hand by doing more than one thing in a turn. Oh, that Force of Negation is a beating. Ignite the Future is exactly what you want against Force of Will. Right, 9 life left to work with. Keep drawing bangers. Alright, that's a banger. I could Burning Wish. They're at 16, so Ignite the Future, Burning Wish, Counterspell, LED, LED, Petal, Petal. I can actually Tendrils them out if they let Burning Wish resolve. Like, if they do the I'll just counter what they get thing, then Burning Wish can kill them here. Let's see if they fall for it. I don't think they will, though. This is just a really safe counter. And it's really dangerous not to. Please let this resolve. Please be greedy. Please be greedy. Please be greedy. Oh no, they're fetching. What does that mean? Do they have a hard cast Force of Negation? Did they find a second one? Oh god. That's a nightmare. So they still have 2 Force of Wheels in their hand and at least 1 blue card on Ponder. Why did they think about that long? If they had hardcast Force of Negation, didn't even have to 2-for-1 themselves. Unfortunate. Alright, I think that'll end the game. Them being greedy and figuring I'll just counter whatever they get was my line out of this game. And Ignite the Future is still good because it makes them use both forces. Yeah, Ignite the Future is the best draw, but I have 2 turns to find it here. I have so much mana. Just trying to overpower these counter spells is where we are. And they can hard cast 1 force, and assuming they have even 1 blue card, they could just force both halves of the Ignite anyway. Because I need to like runner Ignite the Futures. Like, I need to Ignite, get countered, flashback, get countered, then draw another one to win this game. But Ethereal Forager is so good here. Like, so much better than Murktide Regent would have been. I guess, let's see. It would have been an 8-8 and I would have been dead in 3 turns rather than regrowing forces slowly. Yeah, I think I drew enough lands in a row, or enough mana sources in a row, that Murktide Regent would have killed me in this spot. They shuffled their Ponder and they top-bottomed their Preordained, so they found at least 1 card they liked out of that group. And they did just tap out of hardcast Force of Will, so come on, Ignite the Future. And I can put them to that same test again with Burning Wish off the top, but they didn't fall for it last time. Meddling Mage, yikes. I hope they don't name Ignite the Future. That's the card I care the most about by a lot. If they name like Past in Flames, there's not one in my deck anymore. And that's another thing that would make sense to name just in the blind if you don't know my list. Alright, Moment of Truth. Also, they could just Soul Read that my hand has Lion's Eye Diamonds in it. Alright, Defense Grid. Okay, so they're playing around. They're just making their hand as juicy as possible, and Now I can't win. Like, I needed to test their hand twice right now while they were tapped low. I needed the Ignite the Future there. Okay. Out-controlled, outground by Ethereal Forager. That was an awesome game of Magic. Like, I punched through triple force on turn 3, and then when the dust settled, like, I had to whiff off of multiple draw 3s, and then when the dust settled, we were both empty, and it just became a top deck war, and they top decked a good one. So I guess I can try to destroy all creatures right now. I'm sure they'll counter this, but what are you gonna do? Yep, you got me. That was a really good game. Ethereal Forager came in clutch for them. The perfect top deck. Even Delver would have been like, my life total is going down, but any draw wins the game. But Ethereal Forager reloading their hand, 3 forces on turn 3, and then they just put all 3 of them back in their hand while killing me slowly after that. That worked out really well. So that was an awesome match. GG's. I'm on the play in round number 3 with this slow and steady one. I'm just gonna make some land drops, cast some Medallion, Bergie, and then win somehow. Hope this isn't a combo mirror where I die before that happens. Oh god. Is this the... Okay. It's not the Ruby Storm mirror, don't worry. Alright, so Ruby Medallion coming into play. And a land would be a great draw next turn. If I can go Bergie, Rite of Flame, and get something happening, that's pretty cool. It's kind of scary what Ragavan might do against my deck. Like, a lot of my cards are useless to them, but some of them are actually just like kind of good. Like Manamorphose is just a good cantrip. If they exiled Mountain, yeah, they're not going to be able to use most of the cards in my deck. So I'll take that as a win. Brainstorm. And the ramping mana is good for them either way, though. DRC. Dr. C. Extra Ponder. They've seen a lot of cards this turn. So they drew a card, they brainstormed. That's 4. They cast Ponder, plus they had the Dragon Rage trigger. So they can see up to 9 cards this turn. Alright, they kept that one on top. So that's 1 fewer card they get to see. That also means they're probably not going to shuffle the Ponder. Still saw 7 cards this turn. That's pretty good. And they got a look at my deck as well. Something like Ancient Tomb off the top would just make me so happy. That's the best draw in my deck. If I can go Ruby Medallion, 1 mana Bergie, 1 mana Rite of Flame with Bergie mana, or Rite of Flame's always 1 mana, but you know what I mean. Leave me alone. Okay, so what can I do here? I can Burning Wish for a Rite of Flame and try to get something going, but I don't want to just jam into Daze like forever. I think the second Medallion is the card that is good enough in play, but I also care the least if it gets dazed. It's just a good place to be all around on that one. The Brainstorm, so they have instant land sorcery. If they mill a creature, they can go into 3/3 mode. Interesting that they milled a Daze. That's not something they're interested in, even though my actual amount of mana is really low. So if they milled Daze now, but they kept a card before, we have to assume they have Force of Will. Oh god, they can Seething Song. What does that do? Just cast 5 more Ragavans. It does trigger Dragon Rage Channeler, at the very least. Like, if they go Seething Song, Bolt, they get 3 Surveils, which is pretty cool. I can't imagine that's, like, a priority. Okay, Murktide Regent. 7, 8, 9, 10... That one is a priority and makes a lot of sense. Ouch, deck. You're killing me. Alright, so Bergie is going to get Force of Willed, probably. And if it doesn't, I get to go insane. Hopefully they'll let her resolve and just try to bolt her. But by then I will have already made mana. Oh, had the Force. So 1 card left over there. If it's Daze, then it's not Lightning Bolt. 7, 8, 9, 10... Rite of Flame for Burning Wish for Rite of Flame, Ignite the Future. That's a line. Alright. Rite of Flame. Is your last card Daze? It is. Okay. It's actually not the worst thing that's ever happened. So they milled a second Daze. Alright, and they have instant creature land. Ooh, if they draw a sorcery, I am dead. Or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not quite dead, but it's not good. Yeah, they can put me to 3. So if they like ponder into Brainstorm or ponder into Lightning Bolt, I actually die this turn. They did not find the ponder, so I'm not dead to Bolt. Here they come. MF5. They get to take bonus round. Oh my god. Bonus round Lightning Bolt. I'm dead. They don't have enough cards in their hand to make all that happen. I really didn't want that bonus round, so I'm glad they took it. I want something that makes mana right now. Just like a Manamorphose, Desperate Ritual. That's what I'm in business for. Jessica's Will. Not quite. Alright, I mean, if their last card is Daze, I lose. I have to get the Rite of Flame here to get anything off the ground. Wish for Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame is good for 3 mana here. Okay. Then Jessica's Will flips 3 cards for 1. Ignite does it for more than that, so yeah, let's go this way. Try to find some mana to get up into these Ignites. Okay. Good things are happening right now. I could Morphos for blue to Echo, but I think that that's not the best use of anything. I think I just want red. Yeah, let's just keep going. Ignite. Let's chain him. Chain him. Let's go. Right, Seething Song was a great find. Ancient Tomb is really dangerous because if their card in hand is Lightning Bolt, I just lose. So I'm just going to play the Mountain and cast Seething Song first. This plays around Spell Pierce, which I don't think they have. They would have done it by now if they had it, but I'm still playing around what I can. Oh yeah, they would have just dazed my Rite of Flame if they had anything. And then, okay, so I have 1 black right now. Looking for another. If I wish for bonus round, do I have room to do that right now? So wish costs 1, bonus round costs 2. I have 1 floating, 1, 2, and I can cast 2 Ignites with 1 still floating. Is that the play of the game, or is that... should I just be looking for... Alright, I think I should just be looking for another black mana off of Ignite. Just another Petal or an LED or a Manamorphose. Those all do the trick. Okay. We got there. And Manamorphose. Make black. Then Burning Wish. Yes, get the Tendrils. Be careful not to get the Peer into the Abyss by accident. And zap ya. I don't think I need to keep storming or keep building mana. Yeah, alright. There we go. Just a classic little, damage race. Your life total's a resource. Never a pressure there. Never worried. Okay. So defense grid's going to be great here. And I think Bergie just turning on their lightning bolts is not the best. I really like the spells. Actually, I think it is the Echo over Bergie. Though the Ratchet Bomb, again, okay. This is what we did last time, which is 1 Ratchet Bomb and all the defense grids. Do I want both Ratchet Bombs over both Bergies, I guess is the other question. I think I might. So Bergie is really good when she's in play, but again, turning on Lightning Bolt sucks. Also is a 3/3 body. Does matter here. Like if I can just put her into play against Ragavan. If they cut any bolts. Did they see a Bergie that game? I don't know if they did. Alright, I'm not going to get too reactive. I am going to leave in a Bergie, because she has a 3/3 body against Ragavan, or Dragon Rage Channeler, and she's also a combo piece. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, that's a good plan. I'm into it. The draw in game number 2. Obviously, this is not a keep against the Daze deck, the hand with no mana. Or not enough to cast any... yeah, the old... Lotus Petal, Rite of Flame, Ruby Medallion. Choose where you want to blow me out. Yeah, that's a mulligan. This is a 1-lander that's susceptible to Wasteland, and the 1 land doesn't cast any spells. Also a mulligan. Here we go. Nice, honest, clean little 2 mountains, Ruby Medallion, defense grid hand. So I'm obviously keeping the mountains in the grid. And I have to bottom 2 things. So, do I think that Ruby Medallion or Seething Song will be worth more mana over the course of this game? And I think it's probably going to be Ruby Medallion. It will depend on how fast my opponent comes out of the gate. Like, if they just, like, turn one, flip Delver, in we go, I'd rather have Seething Song for one explosive turn. But Ruby will do more over time, so I think Seething Song's got to go. And do I think Jeska's Will, flipping 3 cards, or Burning Wish, getting something specific, will do more for my proactive game plan? And it hurts me to ship a Burning Wish, but Mull to 5s are going to hurt. The other thing I could have done is send one of the lands to the bottom, but literally the reason I mulled to 5 is because my hand didn't have reliable mana. And I think that we lose games more often against these Delver decks when we just can't put spells on the stack in the first place than by losing fights on the stack about them. So here we go. And there's a good chance that the opponent will keep kind of a reactive hand on the strength of forces. And in that case, these sort of hands are great. But Ragavan dashing in. It took my Ruby Medallion. Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to draw a second one. All right, next question is, do I want to run Defense Grid or Ruby Medallion into their counter spell? Like, which one do I actually think is more important to the game plan? And then second question is, do I even run any of them into Daze, or do I wait a turn? Okay, now I don't have to play around Daze. That makes this a whole lot easier. I'm going to go with the Defense Grid and put them in that sort of now or never decision. Like, this will get Force of Will out of the way one way or the other. Happy to use, well, not happy, but willing to use a Lotus Petal to make this happen. And if they double Daze, then they don't get to dash Ragavan. Okay, yeah, sure. Deal. So, the old double sinkhole you. Surgical Extraction on Defense Grid. Okay. Should have waited for my draw step in case I draw another one. But yeah, you can get rid of those. Right, they probably just cast Rag here. Okay, that's probably better, because the Rag can dash sometimes. Alright, Ruby Medallion. Let's go. And I can will next turn and find some fresh cards, see if we could get up to Ignite, see if we're off to the races. Here comes the Rag. In for 3 with these 2 creatures. Right, this is a turn where I would not be upset to draw Ancient Tomb. Right, they got a Jeska's Will. They can't cast that. Can cast cantrips, though. Really glad they fired off that Surgical on that largely irrelevant card, rather than waiting for Ignite the Future or Past in Flames to go on the stack. Milling Grafdigger's Cage is interesting. I mean, them having Grafdigger's Cage is certainly something. Alright, here we go. Can't daze this. Can't cast any spells. Shit. Wow, what a beating. Didn't hit a land or any mana off of that. So, do I want to Burning Wish into Daze, get set up Rite of Flame for next turn? Or what's the play here? Yeah, just needed to hit one of these to be mana to get the Seething Song on the stack and keep it going. But as it stands, these are just gone now. I think I do want a Burning Wish for Rite of Flame right now. If they have Daze, they have Daze. But Daze is going to get me eventually anyway. Like, I'm going to have to tap out for this Ignite the Future next turn, and I think that card's more important than Burning Wish. So let's just keep that spell pressure on. That was horrible, though. That Jeska's Will just completely whiffing was really bad. All right, in for 5 now. The Dragon's Rage Channeler is awake. Oh, glad they don't get that one. So they didn't, or they did play land because they dazed me last turn. Alright, well, I can play around Daze now, so I will. And this is the next turn one, so it doesn't have to pop off right now. So I'm just going to pass. Alright, so second Channeler. Doesn't get haste. That's one of the words it doesn't get when it's delirious. Alright, so they just cast Rag. They didn't dash it. I wonder if that's a misclick. It must have been because they sacked... Oh no, they just sacked the treasure. Okay. So they're either leaving up 2 mana on purpose... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they're just putting Lethal in play for next turn. Okay. Come on, deck, help me out here. That's not a bad one. Metamorphose, let's party. I want to test their hand with the things that they already know about. I'll leave one black in the pool. Then I think I want to Ancient Tomb. I'm dead next turn anyway, so I might as well get my extra mana used. Alright, Jessica's Will for 3 cards. Bonus round. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, bonus round. Copying Rite of Flame is pretty sick. Oh god, do they have a surgical? What are they doing right now? Are they bolting me? Do they have mana leak? Remand? What's happening? Okay, they're just casting Lightning Bolt on me. That's a weird thing to do. How are they going to do the other 2 damage with a blue land? Oh, that's how, because bonus runner's off, and they... Okay, yep. I deserve that. Shit. Okay, I let myself die to Lightning Bolt. Okay. Yep. Understood. Understood. I specifically made that plan that I can't die to 1 Lightning Bolt, then I played the bonus round to die to 1 Lightning Bolt. Alright, lesson learned. Don't do that again. Is there anything different I want to be doing here? Past in Flames can overpower counterspells, but we've seen Graveyard Hate now in both Grafdigger's Cage and Surgical Extraction. So I think that I don't want to lean heavier into that thing. I think the Ratchet Bomb will do... Like, the amount of life that this thing represents, if I can get it down early, is pretty significant. Though now that I'm on the play, maybe I just need to use my life total as a resource. But it does also kill Grafdigger's Cage, which we've now seen and confirmed exists. Close call. Alright. Bergie's out. We saw that they left in Lightning Bolts, or at least one. Which makes sense, because they might expect Bergie, and now they've seen her. So, alright, Ratchet Bombs it is. That was funny. Put my opponent into bonus round. Died for it. Alright, this is a hand that's great if they don't have Wasteland, and terrible if they do. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, there we go. This is a keeper, and I'm gonna send... So the question is, do I send the Ratchet Bomb and just try to overpower with this pretty strong hand? And I think that is the answer. Like, I could have bottomed Seething Song and try to play a longer game, take the pressure off of 1-drops, but I think I will do better here by just trying to be proactive. Opponent mulled to 5. Blooded Strand. I hope this is Ponder and not Ragavan. Alright. We love a Ponder. They did not shuffle their Ponder. So I can start testing Dazes, or I can just play around Daze. I think I'm going to play around Daze. They don't have a threat in play yet. Force of Will counter my spell regardless of when I do it, so I can at least try to limit the impact of Daze. They also might have like a Braid at this point. But I've played around Daze, which is the best I could do. And they didn't even have a second threat. Yeah, they had to use a Force of Will on that. That's fine. Force pitching Daze. Told ya. Just exiling Ruby Medallions. Again, just firing off at the first opportunity instead of in my draw step. If you have Surgical Extraction against the combo deck, let them get to their draw step in case they draw one. It's small percentage, but it's good. It also gives you extra information about what's in their hand. Like right now, my next draw step, 1 could have been Ruby Storm for a discard effect. 2 could have been anything, but at least you would have known what it is. Right, they're down to 2 cards in hand. This is where Ignite the Future shines. Get to Ignite playing around Daze, set up for next turn, put some stuff in the bank. Alright, cool. Yeah, I get to Defense Grid, Rite of Flame, Burning Wish all next turn. It's pretty good stuff. Alright, looks like they're just thinning out their deck. They're like, I need action right now. And I still think that leaving one of the fetch lands is better in case you have Brainstorm. In case you draw Brainstorm or Ponder. Alright, why is this window so big? Oh, because I de-anchored it. Alright, so let's see what this iteration does. It found them a threat. And what we've seen here is a study of a game where Delver had Disruption but no threat. And now we're going into turn 5. And just, they have 3 cards in their hand. And my life total is enormous. I get to test what they've got with this Defense Grid. And it's just in there. Okay. Now, let's not mess this up because I feel like I have it here if I just don't screw it up. Okay, so I can Seething Song. And can I Burning Wish for a bonus round before Seething Song again? And the answer is no. Yeah, I can do it, but then I'm out of mana. So Seething Song again. And I'm going to Jeska's Will. I don't have any cost reducers right now. Ooh. Or do I want to Ignite the Future from the graveyard and then all the spells I find are free off of that? So the Burning Wish is a now or never proposition, so I think I do want to Jeska's Will right now. It will hit Grid, Ignite. So I could Ignite and try to set up for next turn, which could still find some fast mana. Or I could Burning Wish. Have I used my Rite of Flame yet? No, that's still there. So Burning Wish for Rite of Flame is just more Storm. Like that costs 3, makes 3. Alright, so I can do that basically for free. Yes, get the right. Cast right. This might be a relay turn, actually. I have the 5 mana to wish for relay and bank 9 cards for next turn. I don't think they're going to kill me from 16. Yeah, this is a relay turn. For sure. Burning Wish is on the stack. Yes. Get Galvanic Relay. And then let's exile the deck to cast it next turn. I could have just cast Fiery Confluence to clear the Delver, or gotten Grape Shot to kill Delver and deal some damage to my opponent, but none of those are as good as just drawing 9 cards for next turn. Alright, go ahead, opponent. They have to get through this defense grid, which they couldn't counter this turn, so I don't think they have counter spells. Even if their hand is Bolt, 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 that's only 12 damage. Delver didn't flip. They didn't waste my Ancient Tomb. They can pay for 1 spell through my defense grid, but I should be able to overpower 1 spell. I exiled another Rite of Flame, which is a reason to wish for Rite of Flame last turn. That fuels up future Rite of Flames while it was free to do. Okay, so bonus round. Gotta make sure I don't die to that thing, but I am pretty excited that it's here. So if they counter bonus round, I still... Now I'm going for the round. I'm going bonus. Plus ultra bonus round. I guess I can play out the Lotus Petal, which gets ahead of... yeah, if I play out all the artifact mana now, bonus round doesn't double that anyway, and this pulls ahead of Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce. Alright, let's go into bonus rounds. Since I don't have a Ruby, I do need something to actually pull ahead here. And this Rite of Flame is worth roughly 1 billion mana. Just 4 mana a piece. Not bad. Then Seething Song. Just another 10 mana. Easy money. And Manamorphose. Let's... I guess I should... Before I Manamorphose and start drawing cards, I should LED for black and blue. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's back that up. Let's Fiery Confluence first. And deal 6 damage to each opponent. Deals 2 damage to each opponent. We'll do that twice. So just take 12. You're at 2. Since I'm going to discard that anyway, and mana is not my bottleneck right now. Just put them to 2. I can Burning Wish for Tendrils or Past in Flames or whatever. Yeah, we got this one. Confluence number 1 deals 6. Confluence number 2 deals 6. Then now I'm gonna sack the LEDs for black and red. I'm not gonna need blue. I'm just not gonna do that. This draws 2 cards, nets 2 mana. Just making red here. I have the black that I need, and I'm not gonna echo this game. Already have lethal with the Burning Wish. Oh yeah. But if they're gonna let me bonus round my bonus round, I'm gonna do it. Ooh, did I just die to Lightning Bolt again? They get 3 copies, they can put me to 1. Not quite. Alright. I gotta slow my shit down on that one. I can't play another bonus round. Alright. Bonus, bonus, bonus. Alright, Lightning Bolt's still only 12 damage. I'm doing my best to throw this away. Just by showing off. I should probably just end the game. If I find another defense grid... are there more in my deck? I think there's one left in my deck. I've lost track of what game this is and what's happened so far. Another Sandstone Needle, Burning Wish, Seething Song. I'm just going to wish for the tendrils and get this over with. And I get 4 Burning Wishes here. Alright, they're fetching. Now they're going to put me to 1. Sick. 3. 6. 9. 12. Did my best to mess that one up, but luckily, unbeatable. Killing you at 1 life is more dramatic anyway. I got the GGs in the chat, but I know that already. Got a Confluence, just showing them all the ways they could die. Got a Grape Shot too. Also Grape Shot. Ooh, I have an even better plan. Peer into the Abyss. I'm gonna peer them. Target player draws and loses half their life rounded up. Okay. Enjoy all these magic cards you can have. Got him! Alright. Styled him out. Did my best. I threw away game 2. Did my best to throw away game 3. But we resulted in a Peer into the Abyss U for lethal. GG's. On the play in the 4th round with a hand that doesn't do anything. Wait. So they have 7 cards in hand. Alright. Hold on. Mountain, Lotus Petal. Desperate Ritual, Seething Song. Storm is 4. Jeska's Will for mana. Alright, so I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. 6 mana. Jeska's Will for mana. Burning Wish for Galvanic Relay. I could load up a second round. Or I could just make a zillion goblins and hope it's good. I could also just turn 1 Jeska's Will. I'm actually going to keep this. This is among the... Yeah. At first I was just going to throw this away, but game 1 on the play. Let's put them to the test, as they say. Of course, if they counter my first Desperate Ritual, we're just in the trash can. Alright, Moment of Truth. Second Moment of Truth. Third Moment of Truth. I also miscounted my mana. Oh no, I didn't. I do have 6. Yeah, that is how that works. Jeska's Will. Let's look at the top 3. Well, Jeska's Ancestral Recall here. Alright, Bergie. Get in there, girl. That was not the most exciting thing that's ever happened, but it wasn't that bad either. Alright, Bergie in play. Rite of Flame off the top, let's go. This is where they just, like, Fatal Push my creature. Alright, they didn't have the Lightning Bolt. So, Lotus Petal, LED, Rite of Flame off the top, that's what I'm looking for here. Just something to get Bergie going. That wasn't it. Go sideways, my queen. Imagine if I just waited 1 turn and had this Ruby Medallion. Oh, this is show and tell. Jesus. Alright, that's why they didn't have the Lightning Bolt. Alright, Sneak Attack's in play. Alright, deck. Ancient Tomb off the top. Rite of Flame. Something. Alright, Lotus Petal. Can we do it? I guess I should attack with Bergie first. Alright, she's in there. If they have Spirit Guide Emrakul, I'm wrecked, but they would have done that on their turn. Alright, so how does any of this work? So I cast Lotus Petal and get an extra mana. And then I cast Ruby Medallion and get an extra mana. I can cast Burning Wish. Or I could just Burning Wish, get extra mana. I don't think any of this does anything. Yeah, I can like Relay to set up. I can Wish for Echo, but I can't put it in the graveyard. I feel like that's what I need here. There's no like I don't even know. Void Snare? Is that a does that bounce? I don't know. Is there a sorcery speed boomerang that could bounce Sneak Attack? So Lotus Petal's in play. Casting Ruby Medallion gives me 1 red. Or yeah, okay. So Ruby Medallion pays for itself. So I am just going to go ahead and put that on the stack, see what happens. All right, and now I can Burning Wish with 2 mana available. And that doesn't do anything, because none of the cards in my graveyard draw cards except for the Galvanic Relay, which I guess I can take a hit from Emrakul, and Galvanic Relay might be able to go back in. There's nothing with Flashback in my graveyard, so like the Rite of Flame isn't a line. Alright, I'm gonna Relay. Okay, they had Force of Will anyway. Sure. Force Pitching Preordain. They have 1 card or 3 cards left in their hand. Alright. Alright, fine. Just gotta hope they don't have a monster. What are the chances? Pretty good, right? 100% they don't have a monster. It's 50-50. They do or they don't. Alright. They have Grizzlebrand. Do they also have Emrakul, or do they need to draw some cards first? Oh no, they just had the whole holiday feast. Okay. Okay, you got me. I give up. So I got some bad news, team. This deck is faster than ours, and we have no disruption, and they have a lot. Like, I basically have to jam a defense grid and get across the finish line before they do anything, and that is the entire plan. So I think Fiery Confluence is the worst card, because I feel like I'm going to win or I'm not, and I don't need to answer any creatures or artifacts out of them. So it's just going to be like a defense grid turbo sprint to the finish. I think I do want the Echo, because like messing up their hand is a way they might hit their fail rate. Yeah, the infamous Sneak and Show fail rate is my best chance to win this matchup. I'm on the play. I have a pretty solid turn 3 here. Might be too late, but they're not going to Wasteland me, so my Sandstone Needle's good. Opponent's on 5. Fail rate, fail rate. Oh, they're on 3. Fail rate, fail rate, fail rate. It's kind of preposterous to me that they mulled to 3, because the Force of Will half of their deck beats me, and so does the Show and Tell half of their deck, and if they didn't draw either half of their deck, what did they draw? Half plus half is whole. Like, what are you doing over there? God. That could have been a turn 1 win, but that's not what they did. Okay, so let's see what I can make happen here. I can play around Daze with Ruby Medallion. If they force this... Oh, it looks like they're F6'd. Do I just chase the dream here? I think I do. Alright. Let's go. Turn 2. Turn 2 victory is incoming. Give it to me. Hook it to my veins, as they say. I don't think that's what they say, but it's what I just said. Alright, I'm going to start with Jessica's Will because it's cheaper. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, Defense Grid will shut the door, though it's clear they don't have anything. So I'm going to actually Bergie first. Yeah, she'll pay for herself very quickly here. Alright, yeah, they're just conceding. GG. Alright, turn 2'd them on a Multa 3. That's how you do it. Fail rate, fail rate. I don't believe my sideboard plan changes. Play to draw. I think it's the exact same plan, it's just worse on the draw. So they wasted their Multa 3 on the one where we had a better chance, but maybe they'll just do it again. Okay, so this hand doesn't do anything. If I could get the first Ruby into play... No, this doesn't even, like, tutor. This doesn't dig. I'm going to ship this. I will keep this one. The explosive potential is here. Like with the Ancient Tomb and all the mana. Yeah, I just need to find a payoff. They kept 7 this time, which is bad news for me. Oh, they have a tropical island in their deck? Why? Weird. An Omni Show is a thing, but we saw Sneak Attack game 1. I am unfamiliar with Rug Show and Tell. That's not something I'm familiar with at all. Got there. Even get to play around Days. Alright, so, well, by got there, I mean I put Ruby Medallion on the stack. They could just, like, Omniscience me out this turn, and the game is over. I don't actually have anywhere to go with all this stuff. If they just cast Show and Tell and put in Emrakul, then I put in my land and maybe I can win. I can't beat a Grizzlebrand because they get to draw a bunch of cards and have counterspells. I need a payoff this turn though. Give me that Ignite the Future. I will probably Manamorphose just for the card draw this turn, no matter what. Top bottom that Preordain. Ooh, they have a Simian Spirit Guide in their hand. Oh, they're abrading. Okay, yeah, sure. That's fine. And them reacting to me is good for me long term, I believe. Now that I lost my Ruby, I'm actually going to hold a turn on the Manamorphose. Because if I cast that and then just pass the turn with 2 mana in my pool, especially if I tap Ancient Tomb to do it, that's rough. I would like some sort of payoff. There we go. Alright, so I can Manamorphose for red. Okay, cool. Let's Ignite the Future. And I found a second one. So if they answer this, that's fewer cards in their hand to be proactive. Right now I'm ready to play a grindy game, and my fear is them just putting Emrakul into play. Okay, so next turn I'm exploding. We just gotta have a next turn. Alright, they're cracking their fetch. Is it 3 mana time? I don't even have anything to put in off Show and Tell. Alright, it's Grizzlebrand, which can draw cards and find counter spells, but at least it wasn't Omniscience to kill me outright immediately. Alright, drawing cards right now for some reason. Oh, nice. Let's test with a Defense Grid. Actually, what's the better line here? What's the better test spell? It has to be Defense Grid, because it's like, if this works, so does everything else. Yeah, there's a Force. No surprise there. Oh, they're drawing 7 in response. That's a little surprising. Now they could die to Grape Shot, like, kind of easily. Force pitching Show and Tell. Okay. Then I'm going to play my land for the turn, which is the Mountain. And then I'm going to Rite of Flame first to play around Daze. And still get my Seething Song on the stack, all playing around Daze. Rite of Flame isn't helped by Ruby Medallion. Then play this, because it's now or never. The Medallion resolved, which is kind of interesting. Here's this. And then I can fire the Ignite from the graveyard and commit to the grindiest of plans, or I could play this one. If I play this one, I'm just out of juice forever, and I might not have 8 mana again. So I'm going to fire this one from the bin. If they have Force, they have Force, but they were going to force this one also. Alright, Force pitching Brainstorm. Okay. Yeah, alright. I think I did my best to play through that Grizzlebrand. There's a good chance they'll be able to put in Sneak Attack this turn and just kill me. But I did my best to set myself up to grind. Like, we're beating a blue deck with this hand every time, but unfortunately, they are a blue combo deck. But they didn't put Emrakul into play pre-combat. They could still Show and Tell an Omniscience and cast Emrakul and get another turn. But there's also a chance that they just pass the turn here. Yeah, that second draw 7 was a commitment to Omniscience. Yeah, okay, we're dead. Out comboed by the combo deck that also has Force of Will in it. Unsurprising. We're in the final round, on the draw, against none other than Andrea Mengucci, who might very well be recording a Legacy video right now, so you might be able to check out his content and see the other side of this. I am going to keep this hand. It has a lot of mana and a lot of card selection, and I'm just metagaming the possibility that he's also on some sort of meme deck. This is where we just die to Ragavan. Whoops. Miscalculated. So I guess I have to lead on the Sandstone Needle and just pray there's no Wasteland based on this hand I've kept. Here comes the Rag. Get the extra info, the extra mana to dig for Wasteland. Burning Wish. Please cast that. That would be so funny. Dragon Rage Channeler. No Burning Wish. Alright, still looking for that wasteland though. Dragon Rage Channeler, milled. If we get wasted here, I think the game is over. But if we don't, we're actually doing some cool stuff. Like, I could Manamorphose Burning Wish for Grape Shot, kill both creatures. There's some action here. But it's all contingent on having this land when I untap. Alright, no wasteland, no problem. Another ponder, just getting all set up here. I'm sure their hand is really good right now. Took the full mill value off of Dragon Rage Channeler on both Brainstorm and Ponder. So seen so many cards this turn. Did not shuffle the Ponder. Okay. Okay, so I can play Ancient Tomb. And then I'll take the damage to leave red mana, extra red mana in the pool right now. Also playing around Daze like a fox. Alright, so I want red, red. Ooh, Bergie is nice, but is that where I want to go with this? I think I just want a Burning Wish for Grape Shot, though if they force the Burning Wish, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble anyway. So maybe I just play Bergie. But Bergie gets forced like a fox. Alright, so does everything else though. Get into play a Bergie. Bergie resolved. I'll take some mana off of that. So if I Burning Wish, I can't quite Tendrils. What can I do? I can still Grape Shot this turn, but it'll cost me my hand, which I'm not super interested in. I could Burning Wish for Rite of Flame, cast Ignite the Future. Is that actually true? Yeah, Burning Wish gets me 1 mana, and then Rite gets me 1, 2, 3. No, I actually can't Ignite the Future. So, do I want to pop my LED now, get Grape Shot, and just try to go off with Past of Flames in the future? I guess the Ignite the Future is in the graveyard still right now. So, also my opponent doesn't need to respond to what I'm doing. Like, they can wait for me to crack LED and then counter all my spells. So, I could get... I think getting the Rite of Flame here is reasonable. Yeah, if I... Probably Empty was actually the get, if Burning Wish was guaranteed to resolve, which it's not. So, I think I want Rite of Flame. So Rite makes 3 mana and sets up for next turn. I could just get Echo and go for it. Yeah, that might be the line, actually. Swinging for the fences here. Dump my hand. Echo. Do we get to spin? Ooh, I'm surprised by that. Okay. And they've got a fresh hand over there too, which is worrisome, of course. Rite of Flame. Just going to try to get as much mana into play before I commit to the Ruby. I think I should Seething Song once before I Ruby, because that way I can play around Daze with the Seething Song. I guess I wasn't counting for Bergie, so I get to do that anyway. So, Seething Song. Okay, that one's cheaper. And I actually get to Ignite the Future on the front and the back this turn. And I can Burning Wish for Tendrils if any of this doesn't work out. So they gotta counter the front and back of Ignite the Future if they can do anything about any of it. And this Burning Wish is just sitting here waiting to Tendrils them out. Force of Negation. Okay, that is the good one. Alright, so they dealt with the front and back of Ignite the Future with 1 spell. Now we just find out together if Burning Wish is good enough. Alright, let me check out the sideboard real quick. Do I commit to the Tendrils? Like, I could just get Empty, and I think that will win game 1, and I don't have to commit the LED, in case they do have a second thing. I could also just get Galvanic Relay past the turn, but I think Empty will win this game. So, I'm just going to pass priority. Okay, yes, use the ability. Get Empty. Grape Shot is not lethal yet, but Empty's good. Alright, this should be able to win a game 1. I think. I had the tendrils, could have got that, but if I crack LED for black and have a second Force of Will, we're just empty with Bergie, and this one at least leaves me with LED as something I can do. Alright, here we go. I'm at 16 life against Delver in game 1, unless they're not Delver, or unless they have some sort of main deck engineered explosives technology. Feeling pretty good about this one. Alright, we got the concession to the sideboard. Alright, well, we played against Delver a couple times this league, as you do in Legacy leagues. So Defense Grid is in. Still uncertain about the correct number of Ratchet Bombs that I want, and the number of Bergies. Bergie was obviously insane there, but giving them Lightning Bolt targets I don't love. The Echo of Eons, I think, even though it was a huge part of that game, I think that I should not rely on it because it's a blue card for Red Blast, and it's just an awkward card in general in the deck. It's pretty all in against the deck with 6 or 7 Force of Wills. Like, the fact you have to commit LED and your hand to get the Echo on the stack concerns me a lot. So I'm going to go with the Defense Grid Ratchet Bomb, permanent-based hate counterplay. On the draw with this banger, turn 1 Defense Grid. I'm keeping this. LED and Past in Flames are a combo, in case you hadn't heard. Opponent mulled to 5 so far. Maybe we'll get another mull to 3. 2 in the same league. Could I be so lucky? Nope, stuck on 5. Okay, let's see. Is it the Ponder or is it the Ragavan? It's the Ragavan, okay. So do I just get in right now with Defense Grid? That plays into Wasteland and Daze, where I don't necessarily have to play into either. Because how much time do I think I have? I'm going to go with Mountain. I'm going to play around the cards I can play around for as long as I can play around them. Here comes the Rag. And stole an Ancient Tomb off my deck. Iteration. It's pretty strong on turn 2 when you still have your land drop available. That's a good way to recoup a mull to 5 also. +1 card here, assuming there's a land in the pile. Ooh, okay, there was a land in the hand at least, if not the pile. Alright, Ponder, straight out of Expressive Iteration. Goes to Shuffle. Love to see it. Alright, I played around Daze. Defense Grid. Get that resolved. I like that. Is there anything to do right now? Like LED, pop? No. Okay, yeah. Wasteland is still real bad for me, but this Ruby Medallion is a nice one. If I could fade Wasteland for a turn, that would be a nice gift from my opponent. But with the Ragavan, that is 3 mana to pay for Defense Grid if there's a Force over there. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty messed up if they like Rite of Flame 2 Dragon Rage Channelers into play right now. Which could definitely happen. I hope that's what they're digging for with this brainstorm right now. Just find 2 Dragon Rage Channelers to use this Rite of Flame. Though it's probably better not to cast the Rite of Flame, because it stays exiled forever if they don't cast it, and it goes to my graveyard if they do cast it. And giving me Rite of Flame in my graveyard is not free. Alright, didn't have the Wasteland. Please deck, draw me a Mountain. Alright, I drew the Mountain. That's what I asked for. Is it enough? Ruby Medallion, let's party. We're holding out Force of Will right now. Let's not pretend that that's not happening. So I can Burning Wish for Rite of Flame, which doesn't do anything right now. I could Burning Wish for Grape Shot and just kill Ragavan. Then set up Ignite the Future and stuff for next round. Or next turn. Okay. Use this. Yes. I'm going to get Grape Shot. I'm going to shoot Ragavan. Actually going to shoot Ragavan twice in case they counter one of them. Alright, 1 goes face, 2 go at Ragavan. I don't want to get my Grape Shot dazed here. Okay, and I'm just playing the grindy control game right now. Just trying to get into this Ignite the Future. I have the Past in Flames for when it's time for that. Oh no, Road. That's okay. Yeah. It's not that bad because my most important artifact doesn't have activated abilities, but now Lion's Eye Diamond is just a Storm spell that I can't really rely on for anything else. Gonna have to manage my life total a little bit because they are a Lightning Bolt deck, but I would like to Ignite my Future. please. Okay. So I can play Sandstone Needle now. And I can Seething Song next turn. Do I want to Burning Wish for Rite of Flame now? And set up a big next turn? Burning Wish for Rite of Flame is Storm and mana. And I might be able to get into bonus round before I cast even the Burning Wish. That's actually sick. Yeah, I'm going to pass. Gotta make sure I don't leave myself dead to Lightning Bolt in the bonus round. Cast Ragavan. Didn't dash it, so they are leaving up Counterspell. But they can't Lightning Bolt right now. It's a huge deal. Huge, huge, huge deal. Alright, so I'm going to take this turn while the Lightning Bolt shields are down to just go. Sandstone Needle. Let's go into bonus rounds before I cast any of these rituals. 1 mana short of bolting me out, so all I have to do is outbully 1 counterspell this turn, and it has to be a pitched force of some variety. It can't be Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce. They can't cast those. Yeah, this is the correct one to fight over, I think. Force Pitching Daze. Alright. I think I'm gonna respond with Manamorphose. Alright, I'm gonna make... Wait. Can I Control Z that? Alright, yes. I'm gonna make black because I can literally just win right now. I don't need to be doing any of this at instant speed, but it is fun. Alright, that resolves. And then Burning Wish for Tendrils is lethal already, but I can stunt a little bit here. Alright, and then we Seethe. I guess I might as well go into bonus rounds. Seethe. Yeah, they're dead. Just gonna... They might even be dead to the Grape Shot in my graveyard. Can I get there with that one? So red. Ruby Medallion. Lotus Petal. Ignite the Future. Hold on. If this spell was cast from a graveyard. Okay. So, yes. This cheats the flashback cost, and I should be able to play all these spells for free. And the Grape Shot in my graveyard is already lethal. Don't even need to show off, or don't even need to show them the Tendrils. And Grape Shot, get out of here. All right, GG's, just crushed that deck. Wow, that's a sign of what happens when they don't really get what they want up and running. You can just smash right through them. Okay. 3-2'd with Ruby Storm. Lost to a faster combo deck and went 2-1 versus Delver, which I think is a pretty good showing, all things considered, for the Legacy format. What did I like and not like about this list? Birgi continues to be one of the weirder cards because combo decks get virtual card advantage by leaving dead cards in the opponent's hand. So like Swords to Plowshares, Fatal Push, that sort of stuff. When they draw that, it's like they didn't draw a card at all because your deck doesn't have any creatures. However, we've put 2 creatures into this deck. And when you have exactly 2 creatures, that means it's very likely that your opponent's going to have a stranded removal spell in hand for it when you draw it. Like, to beat removal spells, you want to play 0 creatures or many creatures to overload them. Like, just having 2 very important creatures is just a weird way to build a combo deck. That said, Birgi was Nutter Butters basically every time she was in play. And that is possibly something that's worth the risk to play. So, I did like the Birgi. Echo of Eons showed up once, and it was pretty good. But I think I wished for it the time that it was good, so I'm not sure about this main deck copy. It seems pretty medium, though having main deck defense grid makes it a lot more defensible. LOL, defensible. But I didn't love the Echo. I could see that being another card. Galvanic Relay was the cat's ass every time we did it. It came up, I think, twice in the league, and we won the game on the spot because Relay was an option where we would have had to pass the turn kind of awkwardly with an empty tank otherwise. So definitely think this is worth the 1 slot in the wish board. Not sure if you want to make room in the main deck. I mean, like, these Birgis could be Relays, though Relay, You don't really want it to be plan A, though if you want to set up a grindier game, you could definitely play 2 main deck relays as well, and just, it does a pretty good Ignite the Future impression, which, like I said in the deck tech, is a card that I really like because you get to tap out for it, and then you get to untap and use all those resources on the following turn, unlike Jessica's Will and some of the other cards that have this effect that make you play them right now. So that is a big deal. Maybe the Echo of Eons should be a relay. Not sure, but yeah, fiddle with those numbers. I really don't like Sandstone Needle. Like, at least Ancient Tomb, if it gets wastelanded, you get to use it once, but Sandstone Needle enters the battlefield tapped, giant wasteland target, giant setback, tricks you into keeping bad hands. I get that red is a lot better than colorless, but I think that you could just turn these into the 4th Ancient Tomb and 2 City of Traders, or like the 9th Mountain, the 4th Ancient Tomb and 2 City of Traders, or something like that. And I think on average you'll do better. Yeah, Sandstone Needle and Echo of Eons are the most suspicious cards that are in this deck, and Galvanic Relay is, I think, an easy slam dunk to be in this wish board moving forward. So that's today's Ruby Storm for IKEA. If you enjoyed this league, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I have another build of Ruby Storm coming up next week for Tony Scapone, and you don't want to miss that. Also, if you enjoyed Ruby Storm, go back a few months. I played it 3 times on the channel before. There's plenty of content for you to consume around this deck if you're into this sort of thing. So, IKEA, thank you for asking me to play this. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Make sure to go to the comments with any of your thoughts, like and subscribe to the channel while you're here, and I'll see you for the next video.